Hey, happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We have made it, ladies and gentlemen. We have gotten to the end of the work week. The weekend is upon us, and I'm anxious to share 5 minutes with you here today. We have been taking a look at Exodus chapter 23, and we're looking at all these directions and promises that God has for his people, and the whole premise, the whole foundation of all of these verses this week and next week, by the way, is that the same promises that applied back then apply to us here today. And today, I want us to take a look at verse 24 of Exodus chapter 23. And this is following, by the way, yesterday we left off with God telling his people, look, I'm going to bring you right into the land of your enemies, and I'm going to give you victory. But look at verse 24. God kind of continues that thought, and here's what he says. Watch the screen. It says this: do not bow down before their gods, or worship them, or follow their practices. You must demolish them and break their sacred stones to pieces. Now, some of you are saying, okay, well, Phil, we're good. No idols in my house. You can check the mantle on my wall above the fireplace. We're good. We don't worship statues. And I'm not talking about that. Now, that was a very, very real possibility and a very real challenge, obviously, for the people of Israel, the people of God, when they went into these foreign lands that did not worship God. But for us now, in the year 2020, we don't have a lot of people that are struggling. Ooh, do I worship this piece of wood or not? Do I worship this statue or not? Our idols, are a lot more subtle. First of all, what is an idol? Really, it's a substitute for God, right? Why do people worship a statue? Because that's a substitute for the real God. Our idols tend to take the place of importance in our lives where God should be. Like, God should be number one, right? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. We've read that verse before. Seek first his kingdom. So here's God. He's supposed to be number one in our lives. And then we have things that are supposed to be underneath, like our career, like our schooling, like maybe a hobby or a passion of ours. Maybe it's an earthly relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case might be. And it could be so many things. And what happens, here's God, okay? And these things that are supposed to be underneath become so important that we actually place them in a higher place of importance than God is supposed to be. And then all of a sudden, those seemingly innocent things like a career or like our schooling, sports, whatever, great things, they take God's place. And that's when they become idols. That's when things get messed up in our lives, because we've got things in our lives that are supposed to be here while God's up here, and we've moved things around. Now, God's instructions to the people of Israel were, if you find those idols, break them to pieces. Have nothing to do with them. I think in the year 2020, God's instructions would not be quit your job, drop out of school, quit working out. No. But what we need to do is put God back where he rightfully belongs. We're a real busy culture. We have a lot of things on our minds, a lot of important things on our minds, a lot of stuff that we have to do every day. I get it. Believe me, I get it. But the problem is, do any of those things take a spot where God belongs? Are they more important to me than my relationship with God? And I think God's word for us as we head into the weekend is this: don't allow something that belongs down here, second, third, fourth, 24th place in your priority list, don't let it take number one over God. And if there's anything in your life that is out of place, my prayer for you is that you would put God number one. And you know what you're going to find? You're going to find a lot more joy and a lot more fruit and a lot more fulfillment in all these other things because you've placed God where He rightfully belongs. Try it. See what God does. I am out of time. I got to let you go. Love you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again Monday. God bless.